This is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end. But it is perhaps...
The whole fury and might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us.
Our sons, pride of our nation, this day have set upon a mighty endeavor, a struggle to preserve our republic and our civilization, and to set free a suffering humanity.
But if we fail, then the whole world, including all that we have known and cared for, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age.
You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance.
They came out of the storm, filling our skies, burning our cities. We fought back, hit them hard. Still, there are so many. Some say we can't win, that we've lost too much, that the war is already over. But if this is mankind's last stand, if we are going down, we're not going down without a fight.
There it is. Welcome to Firefall Live. I'm Faded Pez, Frank Lettieri, the Community Programs Manager, and one of the hosts of Firefall Live. Thank you for bearing with our technical issues. What happened was, typically in the show later on, we take TeamSpeak calls from the viewers, and our PC is emitting a nasty, nasty, nasty buzz. So we were trying to troubleshoot that. We couldn't get it working. I'm really sorry about that. So we're not going to be able to do live calls today. What we're doing instead is, if you stay on TeamSpeak, live.red5studios.com, port 9810, TeamSpeak 3, JB Will's in there. He's going to be pulling people in, gathering their questions, and then once he has an amount of questions, he's going to circle around, come onto the set, and he's going to represent you guys, the community, as a community team representative should do. So that's going to be awesome. We have a great show lined up for you today. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to start out with a little bit, after the intro, we're going to start out with a little bit of basically a patch roundup, talk about some of the things that people are talking about on the forums. Then we're going to briefly go over some Red 5 news. We have John Sova here we're going to interview, content designer, and then calls, Q&A, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And cool. So, Sarah.
Hello.
Hello, Sarah. And we don't, yeah,
there it is.
We got the tally lights.
Sup.
So, as always, we're always joined by Sarah. Sarah, the queen of Fow is here. And John Sova, content designer.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome. It's been a while since you've been on camera, I guess, but first time on Firefall Live?
Yeah, I was on Firefall Fest briefly last year, which feels like an eternity ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Awesome. So, I think we have a great show today. First, so let's get into what people are talking about with the patch. We patched twice this week, right? We patched on Tuesday and then we patched on Thursday. We found some critical issues we wanted to address. The patch on Tuesday, we had the cooldown change, which it seems like it's going both ways, kind of. Like, there were people that were asking for this kind of thing. There are people that liked it the way it was. Right now, we feel that the cooldowns are in a good place where they are now. Because the abilities are more supplemental and we can focus more on the shooter gameplay and stuff like that. And instead of being heavily reliant on abilities, that way abilities can be as potent as they are. Whereas if they have a low cooldown, in order to balance for combat, for even PvE, we would probably have to reduce their effectiveness, which you really don't want to do. And there's comments where people say, you know, why don't we should just buff everything? I think in a perfect world you can.
Yeah.
But I mean, even coming from I guess a content designer's perspective, we create the content for a certain expectation from the player's performance.
Yeah, yeah. Like if players are tearing through stuff like way faster than you expect them to, or way slower than you expect them to, like it's a problem either way.
Yeah. Well, so my thing is, I think if we buff everything, then we have to go through all the content and buff that to match our expectations, and that's why I think games do like that whole nerf buff thing as a phenomenon. It's really balancing, and that's why games balance like that. It's because it's way more efficient to take care of the 1 or 2 classes than to do the other 14 and then all the other creatures in the world and stuff like that. So it's far more efficient for us to just to balance the frames to match the expectations.
Yeah, and we have so many battle frames as well. Like I've heard a few comments from friends who say like, well, my cooldowns on my weak abilities are too long, and my cooldowns on my strong abilities are very short or things like that. And we have really smart guys on our systems team who are looking at that.
Yeah.
And so if that stuff continues to like crop up, like we're gonna take care of it.
Yeah, and I don't think that typically when we patch something like this, I don't think that's like the end all ever. Like we're always listening to feedback. We want to collect data. You want to let it sit for a little while, see how it's playing out, and do adjustments need to be made. So, for example, a lot of comments come up about the HKMs right now, where players are saying, "Hey, because of the change to the charge speed, I don't get to use them as much as often, especially if I'm running Ares jobs," and that may be so. That may be something we need to make sure we're keeping an eye on and make adjustments based on what we're seeing, like what players are reporting to us, and what we're actually seeing happen from the data.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one change that went through. Another one was the unintended drop rate of certain creatures. They were dropping salvage items, not like abilities and weapons, but the salvage stuff that goes in the salvage category, and they were dropping those at an unintended rate. And the salvage itself was scaling wildly out of control. Like the quantities, the stuff you were supposed to get, you're supposed to get, but the quantities that were gotten were just out of control. So, so we had to fix that as well, and that was part of yesterday's patch. And coincidentally enough, that actually fixed the Recluse alt fire. Now, this wasn't noted in the patch notes. I'm very sorry about that. That's something we should have caught as a team, but it was a weird circumstance. So I explained on the forums. I'd like to explain to you guys and offer our apologies. Basically, what happened was we created a build because there was a lot broken with the LGVs and stuff like that, which required SDB changes, our static database, which means we need a whole new build, not an R1. So we prepped that, ready to go Wednesday night. We're like, okay, we're ready to go, or Wednesday afternoon. But we didn't want to like keep our ops team up too late, so we're just like, okay, let's push this out early on Thursday. Let's make sure that way it's like nice and sane and everything's working. So build was created, our internal production build. Then one of our designers said, okay, the build's created. I found the bug that was causing the poison cloud to stack itself. So I'm going to go ahead, I fixed that in design. I'm going to go ahead and fix that in internal production as well for the next patch to go out, which is not intended to be, we weren't planning on making another build the next night or the next morning. So that's what happened there. He noted the change and everything, and so in the morning when the drop rate thing was fixed, that also required a new SDB push, which also requires new build, which also pulled the Recluse alt fire change with it. It is an intended fix. It was supposed to go out a little later, and that that's something that we know how we can catch that next time, and it's something we will work on getting you guys some accurate patch notes. This is really 100% not intended for us to hide changes from you guys. So it's, you know, we're open and honest. We want to tell you what's going on, why we're doing things, stuff like that. So on the bright side, there's a lot more activity out in Coral Forest now, a lot more stuff. So that's really cool to see. And, you know, we're just working on improving the game. So people are asking what's next. We're just working on, like, there's issues that exist, and we're just trying to fix them and make sure that those are improved right now, so that it's a really good experience.
And Coral Forest should get even a bit more exciting down the road as well. Like we've heard a lot of feedback about, you know, there's not enough Ares mission spawning, there's not enough dynamic events and stuff like that. And so we've identified some ways we want to boost the numbers of those encounters up to kind of bring a better balance of content in our game.
Nice. Yeah. That's exciting to hear. That's exciting. Yeah. So that's great. That's awesome to hear. So that's pretty much the patch roundup. I wanted to get those things out of the way to let you guys know what's going on with that stuff.
And I should clarify that stuff is not going out in the current patch. I was just like, oh my god!
Oh, what did I do?
Oh god!
Don't log into Eden right now expecting that. No, it's going to be in a future patch, but it shouldn't be too long.
It's part of the work we're performing on the stuff.
Yeah.
So to make it a better experience overall.
Yeah.
So that's the roundup, just to let you guys know what's going on. And I'm going to drop a little bit of Red 5 news in here for you guys. So basically, we patched twice. Just went through that. We have Gamescom coming up. It starts on Wednesday. I'm leaving Monday at 4 a.m. And we get there Tuesday, CEST at 8:30.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're going to have so much fun, though.
I think I am. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited because I'm going to meet Nathan and Torsten, our European community guys out there. I've met them. I'm going to meet them in person. I'm going to get to hang out with the Cork office. Those guys are always great. Our localization team, Gregor or Discord, our German Ranger. So those guys are always fun to hang out with. And we're also going to, Coldor's, he's planning a meetup for the community. And we're still trying to figure out where it is. He's like, what about this steakhouse? I'm like, I don't know how much money we're allowed to spend, man. He was like, laser tag. I'm like, I can't do laser tag.
Why not?
I'm not agile enough. I can aim.
Well, there you
just
go.
like find a bunker.
All you have to do is just hide the sensor that's picking up other people's lasers. Be like, you cannot catch me.
Or if you find somebody smaller than you, you just kind of like pin them down and point your gun.
Human shield. Human shield.
3 inches from their sensor. Just like, oh, I am the better marksman.
Oh, that's mean. Yeah. So yeah, that's really exciting. We're partnering up with Rocket at Gamescom, and we're gonna be they're gonna be playing our game inside that booth. Dave Williams, Sear Storm is also going, and I will be doing some meetings and stuff like that. And we'll also have some presentations, I think. I don't know, I was just handed this like 2 days ago. I'm like, by the way, this is what you're doing. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then about pretty much a week after I get back, we're leaving for Seattle to go to PAX.
Nice.
And that'll be JB Will, Mika, Brad. Sorry, Brad. That'll be JB Will, Mika, Brad, who is Ska Dude, and myself, along with one of our marketing guys. And we're going to be going over to PAX. And I'm in communications with Tap House right now to do a meetup at Tap House, the same place we went to last year. It's really nice. We're going to have some food, some alcohol for you guys. The room we have has a billiards table and everything, or I think 2 or 3 billiards tables. So,
dude, I want to go.
I know, right? I'm so jealous. I pinged Frank the other day, and I was like, "When did the community team decide they hated me and didn't want to invite me to PAX?"
Yeah, how do we hook this up here?
No. Pressure, peer pressure.
Who do I got to talk to?
This is like our baller meetup. I mean, PAX East is a lot of fun because we go to Empire and we just hang out and. just eat and drink pretty much inside a room and just like hang out and talk to
Rubbing it
people.
in, Frank.
Yeah.
No,
But
no.
we get billiards in Seattle.
Sounds rough, man.
But yeah, if you're in the Seattle area, you don't need a PAX pass if you want to go to the meetup. It's on the forums, it's sticky, so you don't have to go to PAX. It's at Tap House, which is in downtown Seattle. So if you live in the area, you want to stop by, come hang out, talk to us, ask us some questions, just shoot the breeze. We'll be there. Let us know. I think we're planning for about 60 people right now.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Try to enjoy the billiards, for those less fortunate. Take advantage, guys.
Other stuff we got going on is we just released our upgrade pack. So if you have if you bought a digital starter,
Yes.
you can now upgrade to a digital deluxe if you're enjoying the game, which I'm sure you are. You'll be able to upgrade to the digital deluxe, which gets you that sweet MGV, which is a 2-seater.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it now honks.
It does honk.
Beep, beep.
Can you do that again, please?
Beep, beep.
Gif it.
Yeah. If you want that honk pack, it's going to be available for 50 red beans.
It's just Sarah going, beep, beep. That's another thing I wanted to mention. There was we pushed in a change to the MGV because we wanted to make it feel like a medium ground vehicle, like feel a little heavier, a little bulkier because it is a bulky vehicle.
Dude, I
So
go
it makes-
right up boulders on that thing.
It's so awesome. It
trees.
makes its own roads.
Yeah,
Funny
like
roads.
the first time I showed it to a friend, I was like, dude, watch this.
But there was some feedback also about the way it handles now, because we did make a change of like how it's like a little the radius is a little large at high speeds and everything, which is pretty different than what it was before. And people were like, hey, what the heck happened? And I'm like, all right. So I went over to Rudy and I'm like, hey, people want us to kind of put it back. All right. So it's pretty much that story, and we're gonna revert it back to how it was handling before, more or less.
Cool.
So it'll be the way you remember it 3 or 4 days ago, if you remember that far back. I don't.
What year is it?
My memory goes back like 24 hours, and after that, it's just a blank.
I still think I'm in July, so 3 or 4 days didn't happen yet.
Yeah.
Mika's also doing her in-game community events. She's doing. I had it on my notes. It was like Pew Pew You Mew. I think it's called. And she had her first one with the Oceanic crowd. Late last night, and basically they're in Sunken Harbor and beating each other up.
Always a good time.
Yeah, always a good time. So I think she has 2 more slots of that today, 1 or 2 more slots of that today.
Sweet.
So that's also going on. And as always, be sure to check the news and announcement sticky where we have the Good Morning Copacabana. Basically, it's a short podcast Brandon does, or Mika's now picking up if Brandon can't do it. But it's a short podcast that we release that just basically gives you a roundup of what you can expect from the community team today. So this is what's coming. This is what's going on today. We're going to be posting some news. Firefall Live's happening. Josh is going to get the recap up right after, and all that stuff.
Do we get any community team selfies from you, Frank?
Community teams? No, I don't
With a duck
think
face?
I've
Yeah.
taken.
Oh, yes.
Please.
That would guarantee my readership. I
No,
swear.
I promised Justin I would never, ever, because there was that whole phase where people were sending him, they were taking selfies with Duckface and just texting him the picture.
I was doing that just because I know how much he hates it and how stupid it is, and I was like, I'm gonna drive him crazy.
I promised him, I love Justin, I promised him I would never do that to him.
That's why you need to do it.
Just prove your love.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's it. Check out the website for all the stuff we're doing and the forums, and you could see like all the stuff that we're doing and stuff like that. So pretty awesome. But why don't we get into right now our guest, John Sova. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you, sir.
I think we covered that already. But
Yep.
awesome.
But I'm still doing good. It's
Still.
good.
Awesome.
Still doing great.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us a bit about like what you do as a content designer? at Red 5?
Sure. So my role as content designer has kind of bounced around between doing open world content and more instance stuff. So when I very first got here, me and a few other designers that were kind of also starting around the same time were just like, we want to do something in the open world, something replayable, something that involves interior spaces, Ares missions. And so like we kind of hit the ground like running super fast, and that was like one of the very first things I did was make a bunch of Ares missions, and I did a lot of like the disruption missions with like the bomb defusal, the ones where you blow up like strife bringers, Arana pods. I did the data freeze one where you stop the bandits from hacking computers and stuff like that.
Nice.
So that was those ones were me. After that, I worked a little bit on the job system, not the current job system, but like the job system of yore.
Oh wow!
May it rest in peace. That was stuff like opening the vaults or killing the white orgram, things like that. That one was Tome.
Oh yeah, the dailies we were doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, chemistry set stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like the daily.
Right.
Yeah. And then after that, I switched gears and I started working on instance content for the game. I kind of worked on the campaign system along with Liz Kim, and then we made content for that campaign system. So I did mission 6 of the campaign.
You did one of the first 5 too, right?
No, I didn't do any of the first 5.
So you were So you were focused on Power Grab.
Yeah, Power Grab is the main one I worked on, and I worked on that with really talented world builder Bobby Ross. He did like all the geo stuff.
Yeah.
And like it was a very collaborative process. It was awesome. And after that, I worked on OCT most recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got to say, Power Grab, since it's hit, I think it's of the favorites of the campaign right now. That I'm reading.
Cool.
So I'm reading through stuff. People love playing Power Grab. My favorite part about Power Grab, I'd say, is when you get to the end part, when you get to the base, and it's like, okay, well, you got to disable that turret if you want carpet bombing, or you have to go turn on the turrets inside the base, and you kind of have like that choice you want to make. Do we split up the squad, and stuff like that? I think that's a really cool part of that's again my favorite part of that mission right there.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like the goal was to kind of make it very replayable, so that if you do one side one time, like you get the A turret, and then you kind of have this sense of like the road not taken, and you want to play it again to see how it goes the other time, or maybe on hard mode you want to see if you can get both or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That was the general idea.
Yeah, that's really awesome. What kind of challenges would you say you've met when building Power Grab? So you've done it like all the way from white box to to finish basically. So
yeah, it was a pretty long process. It was among like the larger scoped encounters that we've built so far here at Red 5, and basically like it kind of started with. How did it start? I think it just
started with we wanted to make like a 5-minute mission, I think.
No, like we knew going into we wanted these to be kind of like media encounters, like 20 minutes and stuff.
Okay,
like that. But we weren't sure like how in depth we wanted them to be, and like it kind of started like we were all sitting in a room with narrative and kind of brainstorming how the campaign was going to go, and like we had like these pretty like intentionally vague outlines for like what each mission's purpose was going to be in the storyline. And like we had like this one mission that was just supposed to be like, it was like the shock and awe mission where you just go in and you're really impressed by other Ares teams and stuff like that, and how much they kick Chosen ass and all that. And so like I just had this like image that popped in my head of paratroopers coming out of a dropship. And like smashing down on Chosen heads and stuff like that. I was like, that would be awesome if we could do it. And so that was like challenge number 1. Like I worked with our like vehicle engineers and engineer Rob Wolpov and one of our AI engineers Chen, and like we kind of like sat down and like how do we get guys to jump out of a dropship and make it look good. And you know, we had a problem early on, like where, like the way our vehicle tech works in the game is like to get smooth flight paths. As you might have heard this before, they travel in the future.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like on the server side, like the vehicle moves a little bit forward from where you're actually at, and then on the client side, it's a bit further behind. And oftentimes, the NPCs who are riding on the dropship aren't sure which one they're on.
Where am I?
Yeah, and so sometimes you would see, you know, like Frank and the Double Hawks, like this in midair, just like, you know, like Wonder Woman on the invisible jet, like, oh, we're gonna do it, guys, sort of thing.
You just see a dropship, and then like a train of like 3 or 4 people sitting down, like just floating behind.
Yeah. So that was really awkward. So that took some doing to clear up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, one of the other challenges was getting our NPCs to feel like real teammates. Because you know, in a lot of games, at least in MMOs, you don't often have NPC squad mates who are really valuable and like, you know, feel like they can do a lot. And thankfully, we had a lot of help from AI on that one as well. You know, making sure we had behaviors that, you know, help your buddy up if you're down, like. You know, we would boost their damage, their hit points, like put regen stuff on them, so they, you know, you know. So that was another one. Getting the NPCs, probably the biggest challenge for Power Grab was getting the NPCs to path from their little outside paths into the Centaur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. At the end there.
Yeah. Because it's a long way for them to travel, and we had, like, you know, specific routes we wanted them to take, and oftentimes, like, it's kind of like if you have like a 10-year-old kid playing baseball and they're like in the outfield and they're just like, what am I here for?
Pretty much what
free
I
snow
did.
cone.
What I did in every sport ever.
Yeah.
Why am I here?
What are we getting, Capri Suns?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fruit roll-ups.
So, like, undoubtedly, like every like playtest, like early on, there'd be like one of those guys just waiting for their Capri Suns in the outfield. Like, oh, buy the volcano. Like, what are we doing?
That reminds me of one of my favorite comedians' jokes. It was just like, you know, when you're 6 and they put you in softball or baseball, and there's just like, you're sitting out there, it's like, hey, what are you doing out there? Free snow cone. You got a free snow cone at the end of the game. What inning is it?
Yeah.
Grape. Grape's a favorite. I'm going to get grape. Cherry's good too, but it's not as favorite as grape. Like,
all right, good baseball, guys. Well done. Yeah.
Way to go, Chosen.
Yeah, good.
They're just waiting for their snow cones.
Good war effort,
Chosen
guys.
snow cone. That sounds kind of painful.
A choke cone.
Yeah.
A choke cone.
Sounds unsafe. Yeah, I would say those are probably the major ones.
That's awesome. I'm really, like, after I actually got to play through Power Grab and Risky Business, and I played through them a lot for some internal projects for James, to do some video capturing and stuff like that while they were still like broken. Like, so you would see like the ice break in Risky Business, and it'd just be like error, like just all over the place, just error text everywhere, just.
Yeah, that was a big one tech-wise. Like, a lot of work went into that, getting that ice to break, actually.
I believe it.
Yeah,
That's
by Liskim and Eric Lasso. Like,
that was great. But you know, he made me play through it, and I guess my story of like going through the end of the campaign. So I played through Power Grab, and you know, I'm really starting to dig these characters, Frank, Hobbs, and Fade, and I found out that. Adam McMahon told me that Frank was actually modeled after me.
Oh.
Which is why he's an Arsenal.
Favorite frame?
No, that's not my favorite frame. That's the community will get that joke, I think. Anyways, so I'm playing through it. I'm starting to like these guys. You know, when Frank's like freaking out when the Chosen are coming and Power Grab, and Hobbs is like, "Don't piss your rig in front of the rookie, Frank."
Yes.
Like, that's awesome.
So good.
And the banter when they're during Risky Business, when they're going back and forth, and it's just like, Hobbs, I was thinking we should get married. Like, what? Oh no, friend zoned again. Like, the dialogue was like, oh, this is awesome. So, and I hadn't played through the new Blackwater yet because it wasn't done. Liz wasn't finished with it yet. So I go up to Scotty B and I'm like, and Boone and Sean are there, who are writers. And I'm like, man, you guys, I think you guys are really good with this. I'm really enjoying the characters and, you know, all this stuff. Scotty B sitting there like, really? Really, you're enjoying the characters? Really? He's like, good. Good, because you know what? We're going to kill him. And I was like, no,
you're not.
And I'm like, yeah, right. And he's like, oh, no. And then Chapman turns out like, oh, he's not kidding. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there piecing it together, knowing like how Blackwater was beforehand.
Yeah.
And because Blackwater was beforehand, it was an instance by itself. It wasn't actually part of the campaign, although it was meant to be a culmination of some sort of story and deliver some sort of narrative. But it wasn't actually like pieced into the campaign. It was built in before the rest of the campaign missions were. And the whole premise was you went in and there were these crash drop ships. You know, my name is Hendrix Lake and all that stuff. Like Graves driving people crazy.
Yeah.
And basically there were all these Ares squads went in beforehand to be like, you know, to try and figure out what the hell is this Blackwater anomaly. So when after Scott said that to me, and I'm like sitting there and I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh, you didn't do that, did you? It's like, they're the squad. And he's like, yep, they're the squad.
Take a ride to Blackwater Swamp.
Everyone's saying to stop spoiling.
Oh, no.
It's not really spoiling.
Well, if they haven't gotten there yet.
It's sort of spoilery.
Nah. Giveaways. Someone wrote up. Actually, Kevin, do you have my phone? It's by the broken PC. I'm so embarrassed by this.
We are hyper prepared today.
You are awesome.
Yay.
We have giveaways today. I completely forgot about this. I was so wrapped up into the stories and everything like that. We have, I believe it's 4 digital starters and a digital deluxe.
Nice.
So we are, how late in are we?
Pretty late.
Woo!
You're just too interesting to talk to.
It's been really cool, I think. So why don't we give away 3? Why don't we give away 3 digital starters right now? We'll do that. I do have some questions. We want to get into some questions. Wow, I can't believe the time flew. We'll get into some questions and stuff like that. So, what should the keyword be? Power grab. Keyword's power grab. We'll roll 3 names off that power grab. We'll send you the codes after the show later this afternoon. Let's make that keyword power grab.
Good choice.
1 word. Make it 1 word. Yep, there you go. See? Keyword Gamescom. That could be the next one. It's a great idea, Zermi. So we'll roll 3 off, and while Josh is, let's talk about the story a little bit because we have to actually get him on because do you have questions and everything? You got them?
Well,
awesome.
Written down. So prepared.
Did you write who asked what? Oh, look at this guy.
Got
Just
this.
fantastic. He's amazing. JB Will, ladies and gentlemen, the dude. Bravo. I mean, we're just, we ran into this big issue. I'm like, hey, I got this idea. He's like, I got this. Chill.
He's the real power.
Yeah.
So,
he keeps us all together.
you know, the thing is with this kind of stuff, it's always the people behind the scenes, right? It's like you have the people on set, but then you have the people behind the scenes that really do a ton of work to make it happen. So let's see what we got for winners. Winner 1. Relix. Relix is winner 1, digital starter pack.
Yay!
And by the way, you can upgrade those to digital deluxes now. Digital starter pack comes with the Cobalt Phoenix War Paint. It comes with 100 Red Beans, 30 days of VIP, the digital art book, and the original soundtrack, and a title. That's what you get for your digital starter pack.
Sweet.
$30 on Steam or on our shop. Winner 2. My phone's not even muted.
EPJ33.
EPJ33, it's a mouthful. That's winner 2.
Congratulations.
EPJ had a horrible thing happen to him. There was some streamer who was giving away, I can't remember who it was now, but they were giving away starter packs and everything, and you had to be in chat and say something within like 3 minutes of when they called it, and he wasn't there.
Oh.
Oh.
And so I was doing hashtag never forget, rest in peace, EPJ33. And then he came back like an hour later.
Oh, he passed.
Oh, he passed?
Passed. Rolling again. EPJ
What a pal.
passed. What a.
I
You know
guess
what?
he
I
got
love
one.
it. I love it when you guys play it honest with us. That's fantastic. That you know.
Good guy, EPG33.
Good guy. You guys don't have to keep spamming Power Grab, by the way. We got the names. We got the list. We're just rolling. Oh, great.
God.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm scared.
What?
Philip Quinta.
Philip Winter. Philip K. Winter.
Philip K. Winta.
The
Did I
K
even
is a
say that
middle
right? I don't
initial.
even know.
If it's not, it is now.
Grats.
All
Power
righty.
grats.
And I think we got one more. Winner 3. Hot Dog License says hi, Sarah.
Hi, hot dog license. Thank you for not trying to win hot dog license. That's a
You're not allowed to win.
dick move.
Philip Quinta.
Regents?
Regents.
Regents!
Regency. Regency.
Yay!
Wow, this is like
Congrats.
phonics. Reading people's handles.
feel really-
Regency. Regency.
Yeah.
Got it.
We're learning how to read, guys. I promise.
I feel really dumb whenever I try to read gamer tags. Well, and it doesn't help that the chat is constantly scrolling from people saying like grats and still some people throw in the
Oh, you
keyword.
guys are great. Alrighty, so we pulled a few questions off of Reddit.
Cool.
So we'll get into the Q&A portion here. Josh, you can hop on at your leisure. No, I don't want to send a report. Get out of here. Today is, yep, that's the one we want to do. Cool. I think I hit everything I wanted to hit. So the first question I'm going to pull from, it's from Rudimus. I had time beforehand to read these names, so I know what they say. I can't read everyone's name in chat before the show. That's just crazy. He said, and I think this is, yeah, I think this is a good one for you. Could you give us some insight into what you think makes missions fun and causes players to want to replay them?
Good question. Good question.
I think so.
I
dare you.
As far as what makes missions fun, God. All right. So there's a lot of answers to that, but I think like the most basic one is a constant source of tension.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you always feel like you are needed somewhere, and that there are things to do, like generally you're probably going to be having fun. Like you can break this down and write like a 20-page essay if you really want to. But yeah, generally like you want a constant like push-pull of the players' attentions.
Yeah.
What is leading you forward? It's like we kind of refer to it in design as like player flow, and we often like map out what we think the player's psychological state is going to be, like before we even start like working on the encounter itself.
Mm-hmm.
We'll like Bobby and I when we were sitting down to work on the encounter. We started making like what's called like a heat map of mission beats, and we kind of make like this little like line chart, like it looks like a roller coaster basically, and we kind of figure out like, okay, what is your excitement level going to be at each particular step?
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it like from afar, it kind of looks like the heart monitor of somebody who's having a heart attack, because it has like these like peaks and valleys like leading up, and then you want to have like a big like peak near the end of your mission, like a couple wow moments here and there, and then at the end it kind of comes down as you finish the mission.
Yeah.
And generally, if your mission or your content plays out as you might hope that it looks like on the chart, it's usually a pretty good time.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think I noticed that a lot with like games try to pay like very careful attention to that, where it's like, you start out and then tension starts to build up, and then they relieve you of that tension. Like it depends on the game, I guess. Yeah. They break you off from it and like, oh, okay, calm down, and then like boom, and then they hit you, or they fake, like a lot of games like to, especially the scary game, like horror games, scary games. like a little kid. Like the horror games, they kind of like build up your tension and then give you like that short break where you're like, and then bam, they're in your face, and it's just like, like that kind of stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah, most definitely. And that kind of ties into a little bit of like replayability as well, like the second part of the question, right? Because like a lot of times when you replay a horror game, and you know like which monster closets these guys are going to pop out of at you, like as you walk down the hallway or whatever, you can kind of predict what's going to happen. So generally, like we distill replayability down to two things. It's like the game's input options for you as a player, like what can you do? Like at any given time, like can you charge straight forward? Is there a flank you can explore? Are there different character classes you can be playing? Like these are all parts of like what the players can choose to do. And on the other end, you have the output options, and that's like when does the monster pop out of the closet at you, right? And like in some games, like it's a very like narrow band, like how the game can respond to your actions. But in games like Firefall, we try to like
it back.
Yeah, we try to like make those a little bit broader. So like for example, in one thing I did in Power Grab is change the way the game plays based on how many players you have. So like if you have 3 or fewer players, like and when you're defending the base, there won't be any drop pods falling. Whereas if you have a larger group, like there will be drop pods falling. And then like you also look for ways to like put in smart randomness where like you'll change up the position where the drop pods fall, or what kind of guys they might spawn, that sort of thing.
Yeah. One thing I noticed too is like if you play Power Grab solo and you try to take out the turret, you actually have time to get out to the turret. Whereas if you try to take out the turret with 2 or more players, you need to have one guy at the thing and one guy at the turret to basically coordinate, because there's no way you're running back there in like 15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned that one the hard way. I almost made it.
How would you get here?
Reactivated it. Hi.
Wild JB Will appears.
A wild JB Will appears. Just a ninja.
Yeah,
The dude does not abide the laws of physics. Just pops in. So Geekin asked, and I don't know this one's out of what you've worked on, but I think we can try to answer it. Since the open world PvP zone geared towards players that are near level 40, what are plans to make PvPs that PvP zone accessible to players at lower levels? If there are no plans to do so in Broken Potatoes, what other PvP modes would be introduced at varying levels so players can enjoy the game together? We don't have a definitive answer for that question yet. I did want to bring that question up because that is something we are thinking about.
Yes.
We don't have a definitive answer for you guys on that one yet. Geekin asked that one on Reddit, but it is 100% something we're thinking of, and we've definitely been paying attention to the comments that people want to, maybe I want to jump in at level 2 and I want to play PvP, kind of thing. So
yeah, like if not Broken Peninsula, like we're definitely looking at other ways to get you in the game for PvP if that's what you want to do. Like Frank said, like we can't promise anything right now, but like it's a topic that comes up around the office like at least a couple times a week. Like when are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? Basically. Yeah.
So I'm sorry that was sort of like a non/dodgy answer, but I did want to say, hey, we're at least thinking about it, dude. Thank you for the question. And then the last one I picked up was from Not Actually Meta, which makes me question if it actually is meta. That name itself is meta.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm so meta, even this sentence.
My question is, how central will the campaign missions upcoming be to the game, and are they all contiguous or at least related? My favorite parts of the missions and quests so far have been that the stories come with continuity. Are those locked campaign missions currently under development, or is that space just reserved? Thanks again.
Okay. So the chapter 2 of campaigns will continue to carry the same story thread that we started in chapter 1. Obviously, not revisiting some spoilers, but
yeah. Nope. Yep. Can't talk about that. So I don't even. Yeah.
But
I think Boom would kill me. Walk downstairs with a shotgun. Like,
Yeah, you will see some recurring characters. Like it's not going to be True Detective or anything like that, where we like completely make a clean break between chapters or anything like that. We are currently in talks about Chapter 2 of campaign, and it's still going to be pretty essential to the game's story in terms of how we tell you what's going to happen. It's like Chapter 1 was all about telling you what an Ares team is and how they go about it. And as we move forward, we're gonna move more and more into kind of telling you the story of the world and what's going on.
So I feel like our campaign missions are really like, that's like the main story of Firefall.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, if you're talking about Firefall story, campaign missions are 100% it.
Yeah.
The great thing that Ares jobs give us in the world is it gives you it tells you what else is happening in the world. Like you have the campaign as your main, like this is what's going on, and then the Ares jobs are telling you how this is affecting the other world. So everything's all grounded in narrative and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like the Ares jobs, Ares missions, stuff like that. They're kind of giving you more of like the ground level human view of like how people in Coral Forest or Sertao or whatever are reacting to the changes around them and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think in regards to the locked missions, I don't know if we're displaying Chapter 2 locked on our interface.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know if you're new to the game or not, or if like how far advanced leveled you are. But it could be that so the campaign missions lock at certain levels or unlock at certain levels. So I think you get Power Grab, I think at 18.
Right.
And Risky Business shortly after, I think 21.
I think.
Yep, that sounds right.
And Blackwater Anomaly at 24. So those, you may not have gotten up to the point where you can get to those yet, but there are 8 missions within Chapter 1 available right now. And the instance versions also have level 40 versions for them as well.
Yep.
And I think there is a locked Chapter 2 in the upper left. It's like
Oh,
Chapter
okay.
1, and then underneath it is like Chapter 2 locked or something like that.
See, I don't pay
remember
attention to this
exactly.
stuff.
Yep.
I don't remember exactly. It doesn't say Chapter 2, but there's an implication that there's a second chapter.
Yeah, if that's still down there, that is coming. Like we don't know when yet, but it's gonna.
Someone said I can't see mission 2 or 4. Is that normal? 2 and 4 are just missions that happen in the open world. They're not replayable. The other 5 of them or 6 of them are all instanced, so you can replay those ones. But the ones that happen in the open world cannot be replayed. So 2 was the one where you go and find the Bronodon meat to distract Dross's dogs because you don't want to kill Dross's dogs. Oil Spill doesn't want to piss him off, and
Nor should you.
Glitch.
yeah, nor should you. He's
No, don't pull a Michael Vick. Don't kill the puppies.
no killing puppies. Yes, don't infuriate Sarah.
No.
So,
Nothing good
and then you
about it.
chase that freaking bot all over the place, Dave Lee.
Glitch.
And 4 is we need to talk. So you're like just hanging out with Oil Spill, grabbing him his parts while he's fixing the ship. It's basically
Oh no.
if you played mission 1, you're helping Oil Spill fix his ship still. And it's basically you're just talking to him, hanging out. And it's just like giving you a little more story. I'm probably getting texts like spoilers.
Stop it.
I'm gonna get a text message from Boone for his face just angrily looking at me. What are you doing? I heard what you said.
So, Josh, what kind of questions did we get from
right.
TeamSpeak?
First of all, I want to say I don't have a pilot light. I don't know what camera I'm supposed to be looking at. This one?
Yeah, tally light is tally light is wide shot.
Gotcha. All right. So we got a lot of questions, and we only have so much time, so I'm not going to be able to ask everything that was on there.
Yeah, we're running a little long,
Yeah.
but let's.
I want to start with
keep it
one that
going.
actually popped up in chat, because I think it's a really good question for Jonathan. It's from Noxon. And it's, are there any plans for the OCT invasion to ever scale with the amount of players who are participating?
Actually, it currently does. But the thing is that it scales to a certain point, and then it plateaus. The response to OCT has been greater than anticipated, I'll say. So like, after a certain point, I kind of decided, well, if any more drop pods than this fall, it's going to be like ridiculous. But it seems like a lot of people are responding to it, and they're probably kind of continuing the curve past that plateau.
Players love ridiculous. So.
Yes. So if we want to take it to ridiculous levels, that's certainly something we could look into. I know I saw somebody mention on the Reddit thread that in the beginning they saw a lot of failures where people were not successfully defending OCT, and then after that they were seeing a lot of victories and stuff like that. So we can certainly kind of take a look at where the like the current meta is right now and balance around that.
Yeah.
Nice. And something else that I saw popped up tied to that, but I'm sorry I didn't catch who said it. Are there any plans to ever have consequences for losing the OCT invasion?
That's something we are talking about right now. I can't like promise anything, but like we like just like last night we were talking about it. So it's something that we definitely want to put in, like. And I feel like I probably say this like every time I see about like a thread about on the forums about it. It's like, please make this have consequences and stuff like that. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want to do, man. Sort of thing. So yeah, it's something that's near to my heart as far as design goes. So I hope to make it happen.
Cool. All right. Now getting away from OCT questions.
Okay.
Had a couple people hop in and ask about the future of Firefall and what kind of things we're looking at adding. People ask, there's Craster and IR Doom both asked about, you're going to have new frames, more vehicles, more quests, more customization options. What kind of things are we looking at going forward from launch?
So I could say that I think we're still holding at 16 frames. I think we're, for the current foreseeable future, I think we're going to hold at new frames. What might be an interesting we do is add more weapons and abilities instead. For the archetypes and stuff like that, because that would be a cool way to go.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But for the short term, we're still trying to improve what's there. So we want to improve what exists and make sure it works. There's no secret that Ares jobs, the way people feel about Ares jobs and stuff like that. And from what I understand, it's still not 100% where we want them to be, so we need to make sure we add more stuff there, maybe adding more Ares jobs for more replayability and stuff like that. But yeah, doing stuff like that, I think. So we have to. There's a lot of bugs we still need to get out there. Broken Peninsula still needs some fixing and loving.
Yep.
So I think that's going to be our immediate future, our immediate focus, and then. We're going to be working with the team, the community team, and the dev team. We're going to be working together to figure out how we're going to be rolling out information to you guys. One thing you guys that have been around for a while may notice is we currently are not running a PTS, which is another thing that we want to get up and running. That way we can, when we have a patch for you guys, it's on PTS. We test the patch, and then it goes to production. We don't want to patch. We want to avoid patching directly to production unless it's a hot fix. It's a critical issue. It needs to go out right now. Those are really the only cases we really patch directly to production. So we want to bring. There's the whole thing of bringing the PTS back and being able to test content before it actually makes it out into production as well. So you guys will be able to see what we're working on in advance before it comes out. Once that comes back, we do plan on bringing that back. And it's not going to be, I don't think we plan on making it an invite thing. It should be an open thing.
That was another question, so check that off the list.
Oh,
way to go.
Nailed it. Frank's on top of it.
Boom!
All right. Another couple people, Allure and Turbo Tiger, both asked about the current state of thumping post-patch and about just how the much lower percentage that you can get from veins, if that's intended, if it's staying like that, if there are any plans to maybe increase things back up a little bit, etc.
Well, before I get into that, I'm going to take a meatball and say, Extra Soda, you caught us. We are working on a unicorn frame. It's going with the Yeti frame.
I read that too, and I was wanting to say something. I'm glad that you caught that.
I was just like, it's okay. So bring it back in serious note. We're talking about thumping and percentages and stuff like that. So something we fixed on Tuesday's patch was it's not intended for the resource veins to stack on top of each other. And that's what was happening. So we needed to fix that so that they don't stack on top of each other. Now, as for the peak rates, that's it's hard to say something's permanent because there's always the feedback. You know, how does this feel? Like if I'm constantly drumming up 60% dirt, how does that feel? And then we as a team need to go in and be like, okay, well, doesn't feel good to get 60% dirt. What can we do? You know, if there's something that we're worried about throwing off the balance of the influx of resources compared to the cost of recipes and stuff like that, if that is a concern, it's like, well, what can we do to make this a better experience for everyone? So it's hard to say that that's going to be a permanent change. We don't want thumping to feel bad. It's not something that, you know, we really want to do. So it's something that, you know, we're keeping an eye on and we need to hammer out and work on.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, it's important to remember that we're always listening to you guys and listening to the feedback, and there's always the potential for us.
I read a lot of threads.
Yeah.
I post in a few, but I read a lot of them.
Yeah,
we all read everything.
Right, just because we're not.
And pass it along. So.
Yeah, just because we're not posting doesn't mean we're not reading it.
Yes. Fire Riser, no, the PTS is not up currently.
But we are listening.
But we will be, the PTS will be returning in the near future, I would say.
What was I going to ask next? Oh, I had another couple people asking about Blackwater Hardcore and the loot rolls, what the time frame is for loot coming back to the Necronus fight in particular, and just the general kind of state of loot rolls.
I haven't heard an update on that. We might have an idea. Our systems designers might have an idea of when they want to bring back the hardcore, the epic necro weapons. What they did was, so what happened was we disabled the hardcore Blackwater not only because the elite mobs in there were like dropping epics like it was freaking Santa Claus and freaking it was amazing. Like so okay, that needs to stop. We took it down so that we could properly fix it, bring it back. But there was also something with the necro weapons. I forget what it was, but we decided to bring it back because it was like, well, at least they can play it. So we might have a plan for that. I haven't heard any updates myself, but that's also because I've been running around trying to seek out answers for a lot of other things as well. So, but I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop as we hear things. So
I know it's something that they are actively aware of and working on, like very hard. I don't know which patch it's going to go out with, but it is something that is like a priority right now.
Another question that Jonathan might be able to answer as a content designer. Raina asked about Ares job boards in general, a kind of love-hate thing right now. Some people like the direction, some people prefer to be able to do whatever they want, but right now it feels like they're kind of required. And are there any plans to add more things not tied to the job boards to help people who don't want to do the job boards level more easily?
Oh, yeah. So one of the things I mentioned earlier is we've had some feedback that the number of dynamic events spawning, like, you know, Crash LGBs and Thumpers and Ares missions has been a little bit low. And like, I think that the job boards often end up feeling required because they are like the dependable source of content when there is not enough dynamic stuff around. But that's not actually the intended result. Like what we want is for you to be able to choose which way you want to level up. Like if you want to level up with Ares missions 1 to 40, like you should be able to do that. So what we're doing for a future patch of an unknown date, but sometime soon because it's already in it's
an unknown date.
it's already in our internal build and it's working, so it's going to be out like in a matter of time. Is to boost the spawn rate of dynamic events considerably, and we have doubled the spawn rate of Ares missions. So, yeah. Nice. And that's like for starters. So like if we feel like that's not high enough, like we can continue to push that up. So like you should have more stuff to do in the world. And then so that's like existing content.
Future patch confirmed.
Yeah.
Damn, you got him.
Yeah. And then of course we're going to continue creating like new stuff for the open world, like down the line. Like that's, you know, not just increasing spawn rates, but giving you new stuff to do.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I don't think, like, the cool thing is we don't have to build, like, new systems for delivering that content. We already have the Ares missions and we have the Wandering Encounters. those systems exist. It's just a matter of like just building more of that content. Really, we don't have to like worry about like, okay, well, we need to figure out another system to deliver more dynamic content. Well, we already have 2 of those. So.
Yeah.
John Sova got really popular on stream.
Oh.
Who did?
John Sova did.
Oh,
They're saying that Ares
Jesus
Vision's
Christ.
Yeah. At least the building is going to be in Coral Forest. I'm not sure what the rate is going to be for like Tau and
Devil's Tusk.
Tusk. Yeah, but
You can say the other
It's
name.
actually-
yeah.
It's actually, I was talking to Dave Lee yesterday, Nazul, who most people recognize, about Tau in general. And there's actually, we've mentioned it before, but there's a bug right now that's preventing wandering encounters to spawn in Tau.
And we keep thinking we fixed it.
Yeah. we keep messing with things and trying to fix it, but we can happily say that we pretty definitively, I don't want to, just in case something else broke, we pretty definitively figured out what was happening and fixed it. So you should see a lot more wandering encounters. Well, you should see wandering encounters in general happening in Tau, other than, you know, there were tornadoes and Ares missions, but no bandits or anything like that, nothing else. So I think we fixed that bug and boosted the rate at which they were supposed to be spawning. So
Cool.
hopefully, again, with the patch that Jonathan's talking about, see Tau come alive more too, specifically.
How many more questions we got there?
A bunch, but I figured probably not quite able to get
Yeah,
to all.
we're running a
away.
little far overs, but there are a couple more things I wanted to hit before we move into Do Even Art Bro. And the first thing is raids, loot, and lockout. And again, this is another thing that's like high on our list, highly discussed right now. We know that there's a lot of improvements to be made there, and especially for Banklaw and Kanaloa, and there are improvements I'm hearing to that we want to try and work on and roll out, like make the raid lockout on a, what do you call that? Consistent time. It's like a fixed point in time as opposed to like 7 days after I killed it, because that typically tends to push organizations further and further back, especially if you're trying to learn the content. If you start at 11 and end at 2,
Yeah.
you then have to start at 2 next week, and we understand that's an issue, and we're working on ways to do that. Second thing is people bring up, I see it a lot, is Army UI. And Army UI, that was something we had to punt on really for this patch because of people resources and stuff like that. We didn't have enough time and developers to work on it. We wanted to make sure that we got the critical new stuff fixed, and then so what we're working on is moving the Army UI off of web into Lua, and then Wukash and Sean, Wukash is gonna make it fit the new design. And I sat down with them on Monday this week, and they're gonna be working on a whole social panel, and the Army stuff is 100% on the list. So I know for you Army leaders and you Army officers out there that have been asking for upgrades to the interface, it's definitely something that we're talking about and we're paying attention to. It's coming. I've met with a few Army leaders. I've asked on the Army subforum, the Army Relations subforum, for feedback. Like, what's your wish list? What would you like to see? And I passed that off to Wu and Sean, and I think a lot of it was just kind of like, yeah, why not? So that's stuff we're going to be working on. So I wanted to make sure that we hit that I mentioned those topics in there.
And Wukash was in chat saying he promises he will make it sexy.
Thank you, Wu.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Nerd Fights.
Nerd fight.
I love it how he's like,
name.
is that name okay? He's just messages me. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, my name on the forums is Nerd Fight. You think that's okay? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Fantastic person. So that we're gonna call that for our Q&A right now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into everybody's favorite segment, everybody in the world, which is Do You Even Art Bro?
Yes.
Do you even art, bro?
Really bad for me, just because the third piece of art that I picked this week
Oh, I know what it is.
is a poem,
Oh.
and I didn't copy it over, so I gotta find it.
Oh no.
there goes my expectation. I thought it was something way else.
I was,
You thought it was something way else?
I thought it was
was
something
thinking
Dale
something
totally
totally different.
Oh god, yeah, it's just like Dale. It's a puppy with Dale's face.
Yes.
No, but then he did a
Yes,
puppy,
he did a puppy.
battle frame and a kitten
Yeah.
battle
Yeah.
frame.
They were pretty great.
They were
fantastic.
pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't
Island
have
Jack.
it. This is really bad. I don't have it.
Awkward silence.
Oh,
no.
no.
I can.
Quick, JB Will, haiku.
It's not gonna happen.
All right, so here we
Skip
go.
that right
First
in the bud.
first piece of art. This one's from Yuki Arashi,
Yes.
and it is a picture of James. Sorry guys, best intro ever. Tony Ray plays. I love that guy.
Tony!
I love him.
It really is Tony.
Tony.
It's the real Tony?
It is the real Tony.
So the first
Ray
piece of
plays.
art we have. Here we are.
Oh, this song.
Yes.
Read
This is from this is given to us by Yuki Arashi. I believe I'm saying her name right. If I'm not gonna sweat it. So
it's close.
It's
I didn't
really
know who
really
you're talking
entertaining.
about. Yes. This
Jazz
is-
hands.
This is,
Oh yes, we can.
This is to the tune of SpongeBob SquarePants. For
I was
anyone who
gonna
didn't
ask.
pick that up. Yes.
Oh,
Jazz
okay.
hands, red pants. Yes.
Yeah.
Jazz hands, red pants.
Yep.
Jazz hands, red pants.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Jazz hands, red pants.
We couldn't
Talks with the
have.
press.
Sarah just like plus that art by 100-fold. Like, I'm sure that is exactly what Yuki was intending, and to me, it didn't come across as that until you did that, and it's like, that's amazing.
Only 90 kids will understand, guys.
Only 90 kids.
Next
Hashtag
up, we have. Can you guess who made this?
Wow.
This is the one I was thinking of.
Are you kidding me?
Guess.
Can you guys guess who made this?
Chat's not gonna. We're
I
not gonna see
can't
chat
guess.
for another 15 seconds. So
I
now
have
we're just
no
gonna have an
idea.
awkward silence.
I
like this.
don't
I
know.
didn't notice the Steam logo on the arm until just now.
Yeah, so this is Steamfall.
That's so cool.
That is
he-
some serious talent.
They made like a steampunk kind of assault-ish battle frame.
I love it.
Dude, I want that
Still waiting
battle
for-
frame.
still
You want that battle frame?
That looks awesome.
Right?
Still waiting for, oh, Drake 84PL.
Drake
got it already.
84PL gets it right. You guys missed it. Scrolled out.
Who
Awesome.
had it?
Who
Legend
did
got
it?
it too.
Legend 57 said it.
Yep.
John Sue made this,
Aww.
and he turned it into us for the celebration of Firefall launching and being available on Steam. John Sue created this battle frame, this drawing, and he submitted it as fan art.
Suddenly, I'm not surprised because John Sue is so
He is
amazing.
very talented as an artist and a UI programmer.
I know, he does everything. We miss him.
He has too much.
Yeah.
Stop
But we
it.
still have
Stop it,
Bisu.
John Sue.
We still have
Yes.
Brian Sue.
We still have
We
Bisu,
still have- we've still got
but
the
whoa, my goodness!
That's
younger Sue.
awesome.
Very good.
And then pretend I said a poem for the third one. I'm so sorry, Onishi Syndrome. I'm so sorry. I'll get Brandon to read it next week.
Do we? I mean,
I have it in email, but my email's not going back that far.
Sauna battle frame confirmed.
Done.
Steam Breaker. I like it.
It's so good for my complexion.
It just relaxes all of your nearby squad mates.
It's fantastic.
If you want to get the eucalyptus battle frame core,
Yes. I think that's a perk actually. So you gotta spend some perk points on that one.
Alrighty. So pretend I said a poem. Yuki, I'm sorry. There should be 3 pieces here.
next week.
One vote for everyone, including the poem.
Yes. Oh my God! Worst 3UNR pro ever.
Oh, and I'm gonna have to go with John Sue.
John.
God. If the SpongeBob lyrics had included an MP3, it would have been a closer battle, I think.
You did have Sarah singing it though. That's pretty cool.
We did have Sarah
true.
singing it.
Jazz hands, red pants.
I'm still gonna have to go with John Sue on this one. I think too good. I'm sorry. He beats the rest of us, and it's not fair.
JB Will.
I'm gonna go for the song.
Ooh, one for the song.
Yeah. I mean, I love the creativity there, and Jazz Hands Red Pants is just hilarious.
Hey,
So-
I'm gonna vote for the song too,
Oh,
and let's have the community figure out who wins.
Who did it? Who wins?
community
Who wins?
starts
Go, go,
Not
go.
spamming. Don't spam. Just type who you want to win.
Can't you just log in from your mail from a computer in the back? Yes, I could, but that would require me standing.
#3.
And I don't feel like standing right now. I know it's not fair at all.
John
Not John Stew.
John Stew.
John Stew and the Siege Baker.
I don't think Jon Stewart is on the show. I think that seems pretty definitive.
Yeah.
Poem is getting
Song.
too
I'm seeing song. I'm seeing
I saw
poem.
Poem.
I'm seeing poem.
Poem's
Goodness.
McFinney's force joking Pez apparently.
I'm sorry.
Force joke.
All right.
I think
I think we have a winner.
Yeah.
As you know, the winners from July and August are going to be paired together, and we're going to for the August poll, and we're going to take the top 2 votes, and those 2 will be the monthly winners for July and August, because we only had 2 pieces in July, and both of those will go on to the end for the final battle, the final showdown.
The gauntlet.
The gauntlet of Do You Even Art Bro. We'll probably do it in brackets and stuff like that. We'll set up fantasy leagues and get people. I don't know.
Yeah, fantasy leagues.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
that.
Fantasy Art Bro.
Yes.
That's something I can get into. People at work are starting a fantasy football thing, which you're doing, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
What?
I'm doing it.
nerds. Just kidding.
And we have our spit take for the day.
Just kidding. Just kidding. I
Check
just
that
hate
off the
football.
list.
So we do have 2 more giveaways.
Oh yeah, I should go.
Yay!
You want to go man the battle stations over there?
Super awkwardly
Run.
leave the bye guys.
Skip. Dance.
Super, they're not and try to not to step on all the
Smoke.
things you guys
Jazz
can't
hands,
see
red
back
hands,
here.
Jazz
Smoke.
hands, red.
You don't
Smoke
see
bomb.
Jazz hands. Oh no, Legend 571 is sad because his art's getting skipped for 2 months.
Legend 57, I do have your art, the Fighting Brontodon. We have amazing art coming up, by the way, for Do You Even Art Bro. Asteria put in a good piece. Mad Mim, fantastic piece.
Yeah.
And Legend 57, by the way, legendary avatars. He's made avatars for like a ton of people in the community. I think 200 plus at this point. Legend 57, if you go into the fan art section, he's got the legendary avatars. And he'll make you an avatar if you want one.
Sweet.
Really cool. He does like really awesome paint overs. And he has the Fighting Brontodon. I do have it. I'm not trying to skip you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Legend. But I also want to give you a fair chance as well. Legend's no stranger to the Do You Even Art Bro circuit. Mm-hmm. He's been on plenty of shows. We love his art. It's fantastic. I am not trying at all to ignore your art. I have it. It is right there.
We got you.
It's not. Yeah, something like that, punk. So, why don't we end the show as? Oh, whoa, hold on. We're supposed to do giveaways.
Yes.
So, digital starter pack. Let's make the keyword Gamescom, and while we're going through people spamming the keyword will be Gamescom. We'll start going through Caption This, and then we'll do a digital deluxe right after Caption This to cut the show. Legend 57 for those legendary avatars, by the way. Legend 57 from Baltic Wolves Army. So Caption This is something we put up on Facebook every week. Facebook.com/Firefall. We take a candid photo of people in the office, and we then post it. We post embarrassing pictures of ourselves on the internet for you to caption.
My favorite.
So this week we have, I believe the picture was originally taken. It was a bunch of people standing in line for
Oh, Waffle Wednesday.
Waffle Wednesday. Waffle Wednesday is something at the office where we come in like 2 hours early, just so we can all like enjoy each other's company and eat some waffles, hang out. Yeah. Well, what most people do is like grab a waffle and like, run back to their desk and start working.
Waffle fight.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Brian Sue back there.
Brian Sue with the
apples.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is the hero of Waffle Wednesday.
Oh my God. Rob Kennedy is the hero of Waffle Wednesday because he made Waffle Wednesday.
Well, Rob is the king. And then like Brian's like one of his knights, I would say.
So, first caption was, sadly the Siege Baker didn't show up, so they had to make waffles themselves. It's a throwback to you guys. Next up, I don't remember molecular printers being this small. Those are the portable ones.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a prelude to yet another ArcLight engine jam. Next up, Step Right Up, 3 Waffle Monty, only 1 token per play. Shing! Next, yeah, oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, if you could go ahead and not take my picture, that would be great. Alex.
Yep.
Dance Commander, giving Brad, who took the picture of the eye, what are you doing right now? But I wanted cupcakes. I took that one for Programmer. I don't know if he's watching, but I took that one just for him.
This is a caption you could probably put on most pictures.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much like, I could say that in any situation ever. Like, I'll be like sitting there. I ordered like a burrito at Rubio's and be like, but I wanted cupcakes.
Raid loot, but I wanted cupcakes.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll take cupcakes. Here, where's my venti chai latte half cap with a bottle of Jack on the side?
Ew.
What is that? I don't even understand the Starbucks terminology.
Well.
I just go in there and I'm like, I want coffee. What?
I feel like Sarah's going to be the best person to answer this question.
I do know my Starbucks.
Oh, boy.
I know, I'm one of them.
I don't know. I just go in there. I'm like, hey, I want coffee. Venti? Like what kind? I don't know, regular. Just give me like venti. What? I don't know what that is.
Venti's the big one, and then Grande's the middle one, and then Tall's the baby.
Tall is the baby.
See, you'll never forget it now because it's so dumb the way I just said it.
Shouldn't work that way.
You're right.
Just thinking about Sarah being an idiot.
I'm not doing Dennis Leary's coffee. It's pretty much, but it is pretty much exactly what happens when I walk into Starbucks every time. I have to actually think about Dennis Leary. But it pretty much is. I just go in and I'm like, I just want coffee, really. Like if I go to Chick-fil-A and I say, can I get a large coffee? Do you want cream or sugar? No. Done. Simple process. Was that the last one? The cupcakes?
I believe it was.
It was. So thank you very much for the captions. We love them. We pick our 7 favorites. So if you have captions, be on the lookout for those images on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Firefall. And we also do a lot of cross promotion between the social medias on Twitter, which is @Firefall. So you want to follow @Firefall on Twitter for all kinds of updates and stuff, and subscribe to this channel because we're doing streams. Mika's going to be doing like streams pretty regularly. I think like pretty much every other day or something like that. Excuse me, coffee. On this channel, we're also hosting other streamers that are playing this game on the channel. So we've been hosting like King Gathalion, obviously Community of Chaos, 8-Bit Tavern. All of our community streamers, Ara Gaming, and other streamers from the O team. So if they've been playing Firefall, we've been trying to add them onto and host them so that we have some gameplay showing on the site. So you can even just like hang out and chill here if you just like leave it open and we'll like randomly run in and host. I have to get better at unhosting though, but that's that. So yeah, Ara Gaming. Yes, definitely check her out. She's a lot of fun. All of our streamers are a lot of fun. Doc Got Game, another one. He had his kids on. He had his kids on yesterday. Like they were on the camera. They're adorable children. He has such an awesome family there, and his character's a female. He's playing a Dragonflies in Blackwater Anomaly, and he's just like. And she's like asking him questions about that girl. And he's like, no, that's Daddy. And she's like, Daddy's not a girl. He's like, yes, Daddy's not a girl. Daddy's a boy. So I just tweeted out, Daddy's not a girl. Daddy's a boy. Like, it's adorable. Yes, all of our people that are streaming Firefall, we love you guys, and we want to promote you more by hosting those channels on our stream here. So you want to check that here. Subscribe to us. Subscribe to those guys. Or you can subscribe if you want, but follow at least so you get the updates and stuff like that. So follow us. Follow those guys. That way you can like get your Firefall fix for live streams. Yeah. And I like to watch them while I'm playing. It's weird.
Yeah, I'll watch.
Like you're in Blackwater Anomaly. I'm in Risky Business. It's like playing. It's awesome.
I'll have streams open like while I'm coding. Just so I can see like how people are playing our content. Like, it's really fun.
I think a lot of us do.
All right, time to choose. Yeah, you're right. Running on a little long.
Oh.
So, Turkla wins the digital starter. writing these down, by the way. We are going to send you your codes after the stream this afternoon. And we have a digital deluxe, which we'll do right now. Do we want to do it off the same people?
Probably easiest.
All right, yeah, let's not worry about people spamming a whole new set of keywords. Let's just roll it off the Gamescom. Digital Deluxe, here it comes. With the MGV, 200 red beans, 90 days VIP, plus all the stuff you get all in the regular digital starter pack. And here it comes. I miss it. Hockacern. Hockacern.
Hockacern.
We're not going too far into it. Congratulations, Hockacern. You've won the Digital Deluxe pack, so you get the MGV and all that fun stuff.
And go live like a king.
Go live like a king.
Run
Build your own roads.
Run over everything.
And everyone.
I do enjoy hitting NPCs with my vehicle.
That's basically all I do in the game.
It's kind of like GTA. I'm just like, ah!
I know whose MGV I'm not sitting in. Jeez. I don't want to be an accessory. So winners, thank you very much. Everyone, thank you very much for checking out today's show. I hope we learned a lot today. It was, John, it was great having you on and getting that insight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, the man who helped bring Power Grab to life, as well as the OCT event in Sertao and other things and more to come. So, Sarah, thank you for prop placement in Broken Peninsula. And
Thank you for whatever it is the hell you do.
Sarah does a lot of help with our ads, but she also is a world artiste.
I do a lot of things.
Yeah, you do a lot of stuff.
Random.
So, but you're foraying into the world artiste area.
I am.
That's really cool.
It's exciting.
That's something I always be like, hey, I want to do that stuff. Just like put trees down.
It's really fun. Happy trees.
Happy little trees. Anyways, so thank you very much for checking out the show. That's going to be it. I got to call my buddy because we're supposed to have lunch. I think he's watching still. And we'll see you guys next week. I won't see you guys next week. Brandon will probably be on. I think we're still going to have a show with Brandon and Sarah and a guest. Maybe Mika, I don't know. But they're going to figure all that out. I will not be here next week. I'll be here the week after. I'll be back. And I'll be in Gamescom drinking Kolsch. And maybe if we go to Dusseldorf, some Elt. But we'll see. Have a great week, everybody. Or weekend.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
The truth. It's in there. It's in Blackwater. The arc light. Fortaleza. The melding. They told us we'd find out what was behind all those things. Just grab your guns and take a trip to Blackwater Swamp. The only thing they didn't tell us, it's a one-way ticket.
This world has been chosen.